Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Be Real Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, go to BREELnetwork.com. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. I'm Jordan, along here with Eric and Ed. Tonight, we're talking about my favorite movie franchise of all time. We'll find out if this is one of my favorite movies in the movie franchise of all time. Tonight, we're talking about Alien Covenant. Guys, how you doing tonight? I'm excited.
Yeah,
That was literally the worst spoiler I've ever heard in my life.
Slow it
We
down.
now know
Fuck off.
everything you're going to say about this movie.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we had been saying it before the movie was even out, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's documented as we were talking about archived recordings before the show started. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Babe Ruth calling his shot, except we called the shot for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty sure that
Yeah,
you were
true.
gonna love this
True.
movie no matter what. So,
Guys,
it's fine. Do you want to just
Alien
jump
has
right into
been-
it then? Go right ahead.
Go, please. Let him.
kind of, yeah.
Let him
Well,
get his
I mean,
rant in now, because this is gonna.
we always. I mean, like we always talk about. Of course, we're talking about a movie going experience, but I mean, for me as a personal experience, Alien has been a part of my life since. Guys, I literally can't tell you how old I was. I'm 30 now, so I would say I was probably maybe 6 years old, and my grandmother, who passed away in 2009, we always would go to her house. My dad's mom. Her name was Joyce. And she had Showtime one time for free. You know, back in the day when they used to do that on cable, when they give you like HBO Showtime for free.
Oh, they give you a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Those were a
she
lot of
recorded-
2 a.m. There were a lot of 2 a.m. Red Shoe
Oh,
Diary
goodness.
nights.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
David Duchovny.
Nice. I guess one time in the past, she recorded Aliens, the sequel. And you can, and I knew it was from Showtime because it was a blank tape, and when you played the Aliens movie, it had the Showtime logo on the bottom right hand of the screen. And my dad didn't know what to do with my brother and I, you know, because he only had us on the weekends. So he just plopped us in front of the TV screen, and he showed us Predator, Alien, you know, not hardcore, but something that's a little bit, you know. And my brother and I just loved it. We never knew there was Alien 3. We never knew any of that stuff. So we just loved Aliens. We loved Ripley and Hicks. It was a big ordeal. We had the toys growing up. Now I collect them as action figures. So yes, I have a problem.
Well, I don't know.
And
It's not a bad one to get into. The Xenomorph is a really cool looking alien. Always has been. Always and forever. Very iconic. And
Yes.
who's the artist? Whose mind did we go into? They was
H.R. Geiger.
Yeah, like a fantastic visionary. Like what an awesome world. You know, just the world he's created in this both the ship and in just it's really cool. Very good attention to detail and creates
And
a world,
unfortunately, he passed away too.
Yeah.
Geiger passed away a few years ago. If you are a super nerd like me, not only to you guys but to the fans, if you're a super nerd on Netflix, if you type in H.R. Geiger, there's a documentary about his last year before he passed away and how he lived and where his inspiration comes from. So check out that documentary. It's on Netflix.
So, well, actually, before we get into it, let's bring everyone up to speed on their alien history as I have it up here. This is the 6th movie in this series, but the second part of the prequel series following Prometheus, right? I think
Yes.
I'm right so far. And then there have been confirmed 2 more.
Oh,
One
God.
more so far.
One more in 2 parts, maybe? A prologue?
One more in 2 parts properly. It's called Alien Awakening, and it's coming out in 2 years from now. It's
I
coming
see
out in
reports
2019.
of Alien Covenant. Oh, these are just probably its own separate things. These are probably just in... Okay, gotcha. So one more to follow up after this.
Yeah, one more. And, you know, so like I said, guys, I mean, like, Alien has been a part of my life for many years. And I guess to end my story, my dad took my brother and I in 1997. I will remember this forever. To see Batman and Robin He didn't know it was going to be bad. Neither did us. We were kids. Whatever. Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
People
And
suit.
one of the trailers,
Very
believe it or
gimmicky.
not, for Batman and Robin was Alien Resurrection.
Came out the same year.
And we're like, there's a new Alien movie and we can see it in theaters. This is great. And Dad's like, well, you guys know there's like 2 more before this. And we're like, what? So like, yeah. So he showed us Alien 3 next, and then he showed us Alien because he thought Alien would bore us. It didn't. We fell in love with it. So yeah, you guys known for years, ever since we started Movie Guys podcast.
Yeah.
Cheerleader for Alien. So yeah, my theater experience. I went on a Tuesday night. Me and only 6 other people. Everybody was going to see Snatched. How did you guys experience? Was there anybody in your theater or anything? Or
It was literally just me and my bro. Like we went, like my buddy. We went today, and it is right now. We're recording a little after 9 on Wednesday, and I saw it at 4:00 today. There was nobody there.
It looks like it didn't do too well at the box office, right? Did it win the weekend?
well, it beat Guardians
It
of
did.
the Galaxy.
It
out.
did. It did win the weekend. So
What
its
I have
overall
down
gross
is
is
the movie-
at, I see it around 125,
124.
124 million
Yeah,
so far.
124 million with a budget of 97. So it definitely made its money back.
Yeah.
Well, of course it did. I mean, people knew what this movie was. You know, after Prometheus had come out, they knew what this one was. Nobody knew Prometheus. And I don't know about you guys, but when it had come out, I didn't go see it because I didn't know what it was. I didn't care. There's another sci-fi, aliens movie, not like Alien series that nobody knew until the very end. And a lot of people were thoroughly disappointed with that. That changed their thoughts on the movie. So I didn't see it, actually. I'm going to confess, I didn't even watch it till today. The reason we're recording so late is because I watched it today after the movie came out.
Nice. Well, you know what? Alien Covenant is suffered from what I have officially now called the Batman versus Superman syndrome.
Whoa!
Where-
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean by
So
that?
what I mean by Alien Covenant has suffered from Batman versus Superman syndrome. Ridley Scott was approached. Now this is knowledge from a superfan, so this is going to be a very interesting episode. Ridley Scott was approached by 20th Century Fox to do 3 prequel Alien movies to lead up to the first Alien.
Yes.
And to shorten it up, he said, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I told my story. I'm done. This franchise is dead. We're not doing it. And they threw a bunch of money at him, and he said, well, I have this story, which it turned out to be Prometheus. So can we say this is, so he kind of like cherry picked. Well, what happened, though, is that when he made Prometheus, all the fans, guys like me, were like, what the fuck? I thought we were seeing an Alien prequel. What's going on? They had 2 other scripts done that were completely going in a completely different direction than what this movie did. So this movie is a response to all the backlash that they got. Brandywine, 20th Century Fox, and also Ridley Scott in his Scott-free production studio house got from the fans saying, we thought you were making an Alien prequel, what the fuck? So they completely threw the other 2 scripts out the window, and they created Alien Covenant and the soon-to-be Alien Awakening. That's why this is not called Prometheus 2. That's why it's called Alien. Because it is confusing. To a fan or to
I'll
anybody else,
say.
it's confusing.
I'm lost
Because
on
you
that
can't
explanation.
call the movie, you can't call the prequel Prometheus and have no alien in the title. Like you can't call, if you call it Alien Prometheus, then people get it. But if you just call it Prometheus, they're like, oh, it's another movie.
I guess Prometheus
they
1 is actually what they called it, right?
Yeah, it's just Prometheus.
Yeah.
So, but now you got Alien Covenant. So that's what I mean by the Batman vs Superman. People bitched and was like, wait a minute, Superman's supposed to be an awesome guy, but he killed like thousands of people in Metropolis. So wouldn't that piss off somebody? And they're like, yeah, I guess Batman will be pissed, And so then they changed everything. That's what I'm saying.
Well, whatever that means, they still fucked up with the Batman Superman script. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this one instead. And so wait, so with the whole Prometheus script, then like that's what they had, or that's what really Scott had the entire time. Like that's what I want to know. Did he drop the microphone?
He definitely dropped his camera just now. We definitely got an underwear shot.
My phone dropped. No. Ridley Scott wrote screenplay for 3 movies, and they were all going to lead up to the first Alien movie to a certain degree.
So and because of that, what you
But-
said, now we have the 2 out already, and then the third one. So he had Prometheus in the can.
But yes. He had Prometheus in the can. They said yes to Alien Covenant, but it wasn't called Alien Covenant. It was just called Paradise Lost. They weren't going to call it anything else but Paradise Lost. But the backlash on the internet, the fans, everybody was like, I thought you were making an Alien movie. I want my xenomorph. Don't give me these neomorphs. Don't give me these deacons. Don't give me this. I want to know the history of the space jockey. I want to know the history of the xenomorph. Give me that movie. And that's what Ridley Scott decided to do.
So basically, what you're giving us is an explanation and reasoning behind as to why Prometheus was good and this movie was fucking terrible.
But now,
Oh, God.
I have to ask this, guys, too, because not to jump too far ahead, but this movie's an obvious sequel to Prometheus, and an obvious prequel to the rest of the franchise here too. And I left the movie thinking just like, okay, like story wise, like I'm yes and no about it. Like there are some holes that I want to actually crack, and then we'll talk about those a little bit later. But overall, if we're looking at the major arc, some of it's starting to make sense because you remember in Alien and just like or Aliens too, those kind of the planets that they were on, and just kind of it makes kind of some sense. And if I'm being vague about my details, then that's probably because I haven't or not as familiar with it as you, Jordan. But for everything for the way to this movie have ended with the colony ship, something with a lot of seeded life that's on there, and to have it be possibly corrupted by a species like this, the way that it ended, and really set up for a third one could make a lot of sense for the rest of the original 3.
Well, see, what sucks is for guys like me, what is good and bad about this is that they're doing something new. But what's bad for me, right off the bat, is that in Prometheus and in this movie, this is not the planet from Alien, and this is not the planet from Aliens. The planet from Alien and Aliens is LV-426. The planet in Prometheus was LV-222.
Okay.
And this planet is the engineer's home world. So, and they never said this was LV-246. So when Ripley and the Nostromo crew from the first Alien movie arrives on LV-426 and Kane gets the facehugger attached and boom, we get the first movie. We have not seen that spacecraft crash there yet.
Right.
We don't know why they have
that's the third movie. You just gave us the third movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is that's where that's where it's gonna pick off. Very Rogue One style, where it's just gonna go from one right into the other. And,
well, the rumor is they're gonna do sorry to interrupt, but the rumor is the last shot of that movie, of the third movie, Alien Awakening, is gonna be like Rogue One, where Ripley and Dallas and Parker and Lambert and Kane and Ash, they're going to board the Nostromo on Earth to go to space. So, because that's the crew in the first.
Man, I tell you, space is fucked up. It's a pretty cool concept to have like this death species that's kind of it's parasite kind of looks around. I like it. It's cool, but at the same time, like the kind of cosmic dominance that we are showing at this time too, because even though that this colony mission in this movie is going with the complete, I mean, huge operation, right? What they say, like 2,000 colonists, and then over however many embryos too. Like that's
2,000, yeah.
And like what a plan to have. Like they're stocking up different generations to go kind of just colonize this planet. So there's an awesome plan for this kind of happen, and I thought that was a really cool kind of plan too. And so that's easily to assume that's not the only one, right? There's many other colony projects or freighters like that Wayland sent out, right?
No.
Well, this is a different company. In this movie, there was Wayland in the first one, and then in this one,
It's still the same, isn't it? Oh,
yes, it is the same.
Is it the same? I thought I remember it being Like they made mention of it or something like that, and they said he don't own this company or something like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, yes, because in Prometheus it was the Wayland company, but in the promos, which I don't know if you guys or the fans have seen on YouTube, because trust me, you got to see all the extra material that's on YouTube from Alien Covenant to get the grasp of everything. Peter Wayland dies 10 years prior in Prometheus, so Yutani buys a portion of the company and they become Wayland Yutani.
Okay, well, because there's
So
there's
that's
a
the same
prologue.
company.
There's a prologue video, right? Like,
Yeah.
To this movie, like I didn't know that till till
There's
this.
like 2 or 3 of them.
Okay.
Well, that explains why James Franco was nowhere in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
He was. He got. James Franco got.
he was on
burned
the
alive.
iPad.
He was on an
Yes.
iPad video flashback. That's it. He was nowhere in this movie. He got toasted real quick.
Yeah.
I could not believe that. I literally could not believe. Okay, so
I
let's
was thinking
get into
that
the nuts and bolts.
I was thinking he was gonna
Yeah.
come back. Like that was my
No,
guess.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I was just like that'd be
Yeah.
fucked up.
This is the second science fiction in space movie that we've reviewed so far this year, where like a guy who's a lead actor, a top billed name, gets killed off in the first instant of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
right.
talking about life, aren't you?
Life.
Mhm.
Because yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds was the first one to go on that, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I expected a lot from this movie. I didn't expect it to be the greatest movie ever, but I love Ridley Scott. Minus Blade Runner, I've never been able to make it all the way through Blade Runner. That's on me. I'm gonna get roasted for that.
You're gonna do it this year, buddy. I know it.
I know we're gonna be reviewing it, so you got to watch the original.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, because Thelma and Louise, who doesn't love Thelma and Louise? G.I. Jane, she's the hottest she's ever been in that movie, in my opinion. Gladiator, Hannibal, Black Hawk Down, American Gangster. You know what I mean? I love Ridley Scott. Excuse me. I like Prometheus, but getting on this movie, I honestly, Jordan, you gave me an explanation behind it. I fucking hated this movie. I thought it was. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking the characters are developing in a very poor manner. They're developing very slowly, and what is developing is forced. And everybody who's been listening to the show since we started the series, knows that I hate forced character development. And then when the characters are developed, you know who they are. They make the worst possible decisions out of every decision that they could make.
I think they make the worst decisions at the end, but I think there's great character development in the beginning before they get to Paradise.
Well, I mean, they sort of start to tell you a story, and then it goes completely awry. I mean, I thought the visuals were cool. The end scene where they're on the cargo freighter or whatever.
No. Let's start with the beginning. Where the
Okay.
movie opens up with the colony going through and it's recharging. A little bit of an incident happens and the crew wakes up. It's a jolt through a cosmic storm. They wake up to a little bit of tragedy because James Franco dies in
Yes.
Yeah,
in some odd circumstance in their hibernation pods. Everybody
and they give you a great explanation behind David. I love Michael Fassbender. I think he's incredible.
Walter in this one.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is he's Walter in this one, but they give you at the very beginning of the movie, they give you an explanation of David.
Yeah, very much so. Yes.
They
That
tell
was
you
a great scene.
Yeah.
Great scene.
But it also literally reverses David from the first movie, in my opinion. He's there as an assistant. He helps. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, I know how to get us home. And then Dr. Smart or whatever fuck her name is, Smith, whatever.
Shaw.
Elizabeth Shaw,
They leave. They leave and they're like, we're gonna go find out why this happened. And he's like, okay, I can get us there. And then all of a sudden, they basically foreshadow that David's gonna be a dick. He's gonna fuck everybody over, but on purpose this time. Like he did it accidentally in the first movie. Well, maybe accidentally, but
No, he didn't. Ed, to interrupt you, this is perfect. This is exactly what they set up in the first Alien movie, because in the first Alien movie, they had an android on board that they didn't know was an android, and it was Ash, played by Ian Holm. And he was a later model that was prone to malfunction. That's kind of what David is in a way, David is an older model, the original model created by Wayland in his image, that was able to cry. I mean, you saw David cry in this movie. But in Aliens, you get introduced to Lance Hendrickson's character, android Bishop, who is the Walter of this movie, who is always there to protect, always a good guy, always what he's supposed to do, no emotion. And that's what we got. We got Ash and also Bishop in this. But Eric, you are right. In the beginning of this is so interesting. And what I do find that I call bullshit is the character Daniels, R. Ripley, do I say.
Yeah.
Man, they made her look just like Sigourney Weaver did in Aliens in 1986. They got the hairdo, the guns,
You know, her look
the
grew on
wife
me.
beater shirt.
Can I just say, like, we're introduced to her
Yeah.
as a very a person in mourning, and that's not her. But she grew on me in this movie, where just like, you know what, like, you fucking get it, girl. Like after a while, like say what you say what you guys will, but after a while, just like, you know what, like, you guys are pretty. There was one scene though on when on the carrier where she's getting whipped around like that, and just like, bitch, like that's whiplash right there. Those, you know, just kind of an unbelievable action scene, but that's not her fault. But her as a character, I think she did a pretty good job. I liked this.
She did a great job.
This strong female character, you know, that Alien has been known to do, and it worked really well. I was in my doubts. I really was in this movie, but she grew on me. I think she did a really good job.
I was so they did such a good job, but I was
Catherine
so
Waterston
afraid.
is her name, the actress.
I was so afraid that at some point at the end of the movie, we were going to hear the fact that she was pregnant, and then all of a sudden she had the baby, and she wanted to name it Ripley. But she wanted to send it back to her.
Oh God,
That's
that would be.
I was so that's how much I hated this movie, and I thought it was cliche that I thought they were going to do that.
Oh, I'm glad that
Okay.
they didn't, because that would actually, I would be in your boat if that happened. I'd be like, listen, Jordan, I don't care what you said. This movie sucked because of that. But no, I'm glad they didn't do that. I will say that there was an early mess up in the start of the movie that I will say. It was played by the captain. What's it? Orem, right? Billy.
Yeah,
Billy Crudup.
Yeah.
Billy Crudup, who I love.
Yeah. Good actor too. But by the way, also solid acting on everyone's part. Just even including the soldiers that got infected, especially the soldiers that got infected. Blah 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 blah. You know, just. But he at the beginning of the movie, when he wakes up, and he obviously is first mate, so he assumes command of the ship, and he's like, okay, shit, I gotta, you know, we gotta get to work. He's gotta make rational decisions, and he's arguing this point to his wife on the ship, his companion on the ship, saying just like, well, you know, I they trusted me, like I gotta put faith aside, and I gotta make the most you know, best decision, the most rational decision, the most push forward. You know, I got to make the right decision. You know, all the time. And he's trying to do also this whole captain thing. And then suddenly he's just like, oh yeah, that's a random planet. We should go to that random planet. Off course, completely.
Yeah, bullshit, right? Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, now wait a minute. I just want to argue with you for 1 second about that. You know, he's the only person on board that was you know, he said he wasn't allowed to be captain because he was religious. He didn't use logic, so
Correct.
he was a faith-based person. So that, in my opinion, falls in line with that character to a certain extent, because he took what he believed what he believed to be the right call. You know, nobody else wanted to go back to sleep because they almost just died, and you know, he took an act of faith.
Okay.
And you know, and made that decision to go to that planet.
I'm gonna roll with you, man. I like
Yeah,
it.
I agree with that. Also, just so you guys know, for your own common knowledge, the year this movie takes place is 2104, and knowing when Alien starts, Ripley is 12 years old when this movie begins.
See, I never would have
Just so
known
you-
that. I never would have known that. I'm glad they at least kept in the continuity of the timeline.
So right now in this
Yeah,
universe,
that's the other
Ripley
part
is 12
too.
years old.
I feel like the people who are behind the curtains are really keeping the fan base alive in this, and they're just like, no, it has to be like we've made the world. We got to stick with the world, you know, and follow
Absolutely.
the everything that's in it. So making sure that everything's locked up tight.
Yeah. So what happens is, of course, like we said, James Franco gets killed in this cryo tube, and the Covenant is a colony ship that's going to. I'm sorry, I'm saying this wrong. Oregon 6, something like that. It's a planet.
They were on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Wayland Yutani has been doing research on this for over 10 years. They have done extensive research on this new planet, and they're going to go there to start colonizing. It's pretty much a suicide mission for them because they're not coming back to Earth, but they're going there to colonize. However, though, they get set off course because they are getting a signal, kind of like in the first movie. They don't know if it's an SOS. They don't know if it's a welcome. They don't know. But it's a planet that's only a few weeks away. So they decide to go to that planet. Now, it's not in the movie. It's in the screenplay. Just for the sake of argument, the name of the planet is called Paradise because that was the original title. So, because that's the engineer's homeworld. So we go to Paradise, and they find no animals, nothing that's living besides wheat, which is human crops on this planet, which makes no sense to them. And then they find a space jockey ship, which is where they find Shaw's message, which is West Virginia Mountain Mama song, which is
John Denver,
great,
buddy.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird
John
that they had a
Denver.
couple of plane crashes in this movie. That was weird.
Yeah. Now, another thing that we need to talk about that is great on paper, who I do appreciate. I'm not a fan of Scott. Scott can only do one thing right, in my opinion, and that's sci-fi. But what he did wrong in this movie was they introduced the fact that every single person that we were seeing in this movie was a married couple. And boy, did he completely drop the ball on that, because the people, when they start getting destroyed, you don't see their spouse dealing with the death of their spouse. I'm sorry, guys, but if I go on a colony ship with my wife and my wife gets an alien person through her chest, I'd be fucking devastated. You know what I mean? And they don't show us that stuff.
Well, you know
They're
what?
just expendables. They're, you know what I mean?
That's a good point, because everyone that wakes up, they're like they're all, for the most part, couples, right? We see that, like, yeah, they're all couples.
Every single one of them's couples, and there's also a gay couple.
There's a
too,
gay
if you
couple
guys
in there
noticed
too.
that.
I did see that.
That's true. Yep. Yep.
And so it's across the board. I understand that, the grievance part of it too, but I guess it's, you're in space. It's not slowing down. You know you got to grieve. I get it. You'll have your time, and that's where I think, just like, why would you want to land the ship? Like, why would you want to go to a mystery planet like right after that? If especially because we only had Daniels, her spouse that died, right, and then one colonist. Is that what happened? Or two colonists?
I think there were
one colonist, two embryos, and James Franco. But their reasoning is, which I guess could be a good reasoning. Let's go check out this planet because it's only 2 weeks away. Because of what happened to James Franco, nobody really wants to get in the cryo tubes right now. Which I get that.
Okay.
I get that. That was the reasoning. That was everybody's reasoning was, let's go check out this paradise because we don't really want to be burned alive in our cryo tubes. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, hang on for 1 second, Jordan. I'm going to have to argue with you because I can't let this go. We can't move past this now. You made a comment that Ridley Scott can't do anything besides sci-fi.
Going straight too far.
Yes.
Are you fucking high right now?
No, I'm not.
I get that he loves Russell Crowe. I get that. Like, Russell Crowe's literally to everything he's ever done. But first of all, Robin Hood, really good. American Gangster, one of the greatest mob stories ever. Matchstick Men, one of the greatest, most underrated movies of all time. Black Hawk Down, I lived with that movie forever. Gladiator, everything anytime anybody who's ever Jordan,
bring back the center now.
Continue.
I'm not going to really rebuttal. I'm just going to say that he made two of the most influential sci-fi movies of all time, and that would be Alien and Blade Runner, because Blade Runner takes place in the same world as Alien. So,
that doesn't mean it's the only thing he can do.
Well, visually, he is And you know what? That goes full circle with this movie. I think all three of us will agree. Just like Prometheus, this movie is fucking gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at.
You know what? It did look pretty cool. The alien city that we get to see on the planet too, like that was really cool. So the engineer's homeworld or what have you. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked that. The way that they do. Well, I mean, even at the start of the movie, I got to go see this at the EMAX or the one of the. It's not IMAX anymore. It's some other shit. Whatever the hell. Every movie theater.
Like
Why is it more environmentally friendly now somehow? They call it IMAX.
No. It's like a bigger screen now, and it's got Dolby surround sound, and I got the whole experience pretty much. And because nobody was in the theater, I just sat like right in the middle on the biggest recliner there. It was amazing, and yeah, the start when it opens up of the with the ship opening its sails. Like that's a cool thing that we got to see. That's cool piece of technology.
Great
watching
visual.
it unveil.
Now I get
and-
why Count Dooku did it in his ships, by the way.
Yeah, makes sense now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
that's I
yeah.
mean something like that, or just like the ship itself was actually a pretty cool design. I enjoyed it. Or the start of the movie with the all white room in the introduction of David. He's got an eye for the futurology part of it, or the cyberpunk side of things. It's pretty good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like, and that's why I've admired his work when it comes to the sci-fi world. So they land on, land on Paradise, but only Danny McBride, his wife. I'm sorry, Danny McBride and another guy and his wife are on the actual Covenant. Everybody else is down there.
His wife is not on Covenant. His wife goes down.
That's right. That's right. His wife Ferris is his wife. She's the pilot on the shuttle. So the shuttle goes down to Paradise, and they're walking and they stumble upon the space jockey ship from Prometheus, and they walk into there. But while they're walking into there, all of them, other people split up, and this guy steps on this
A spore.
spore, and an interesting
like,
visual
like
of-
seedlings almost.
yeah, and it goes into his ear, and then I like what I don't like. I'm sorry, was that Ridley Scott decided to do his artistic douchebaggery shot where we had to get into a CG ear canal and see it go into his ear. It was unnecessary, but it was fine forever what it was. And
Just
he
let you know.
starts tweaking out. He starts getting sick, and then another guy who was a part of the gay couple guy sniffs a spore, and he gets infected, and we don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, boom, and we get a brand new xenomorph. It's called in the movie, because the toys have come out, the action figures, the collectibles, I guess another way of saying it, is called the neomorph. So the all-white alien is called a neomorph. Ed, the alien that you saw at the end of Prometheus that comes out of the space jockey at the end, you know what I'm talking about, Ed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's called the Deacon.
Wait,
So we
what?
had-
Wait, which one?
That's what they call it. At the end of Prometheus, when the space jockey gets attacked by the giant facehugger,
Yeah.
the alien that pops out of the space jockey's chest in Prometheus is called the Deacon. These all-white aliens are called neomorphs. So what's interesting about these neomorphs is that they bust out of any place they want to. They're not chest bursters. One busts out of a guy's back very violently.
Yeah, that looked
The other
very
one-
fucking painful, dude. Oh my god.
Oh my. Okay, well, guys, how would you want to go out? Alien coming out of your back or alien coming out of your mouth, like that one guy did in the middle of the field? Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh god. Jeez, that was. You know what? Like that's the other part too. Is that like certain things. Well, I guess it's just minor movie gripes. I can't really complain about it. Like when the guy was sick and just like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Ugh, I'm fine." It's like, dude, you're on an alien planet. Like, could you be a
Yeah.
little bit more careful?
Smoking a cigarette. Too.
Yeah, and the other the other guy was smoking a cigar.
Yeah, in the middle of a wheat field.
Yeah, in the middle of a wheat field. So like you're not just you just assume that this is just like Earth, no problem at all. But like, yeah, and he was gonna go pee somewhere too. I would not be sticking my junk out in the middle of a strange planet like day one, especially within the first hour. You know, like it's just not
Did
gonna
you
happen.
guys did you guys think when he said that, by the way, in the movie, or the guy that got infected in the ear, that he said, "I'm gonna go pee"? Because I saw trailers of the spores.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my god, is he gonna pee and something's going up his pee hole?" Because if that happens, like I
It's
was
the clap.
nervous. I was nervous,
It's the
but
clap.
He didn't even go pee. He went to go sneak a
Yeah.
cigarette.
he went to
Why
go
would you lie
sneak a
about that?
cigarette.
Why would you just say, "Hey, listen, I gotta go burn one real quick"?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Like
Why would he
that's
not
all
walk
you
with it?
you are the
Yeah.
soldier. That's all. That's the only job that you have.
So, what do you guys think of the brand new neomorphs? Of them bursting out of the mouth, bursting out of the back? They're very violent. You can tell they definitely have the classic xenomorph in them. What do you guys think of the neomorphs?
They're pretty cool,
Well, me
man.
personally, I mean, I didn't. I mean, they're just continuing to introduce like more and more aliens, but like, it's the natural evolution of the alien. You know, the xenomorphs. Me personally, I think it's kind of sort of a part where they're forcing the character, like they're developing into the xenomorphs really quickly, and it doesn't make sense to me. But that's just me being an asshole, me having a gripe about it.
You know what? Like nothing is gonna beat the fully grown xenomorph that we get to see at like the end, and it's just when you see those things in full action, just the way they move so erratically, it just oh god, it's so fucking sweet. They have that creep walk, that creeper crawl, pretty much where it's just hands over feet. It's just it's very detailed, and the tail whips around too. So nothing beats that. They are just a fearful thing to watch. But these things are kind of like they are the raptors of Jurassic Park, basically.
Oh, good,
Clever
good
girl.
reference. Raptors of Jurassic Park. That's good, man. I like that.
And you give them credit because there's cool action scenes. Like this was a very Ghost in the Darkness kind of shit of them, just kind of jumping through the high grass at people. But
Yeah. Speaking of that,
yeah,
did you guys see that one soldier guy that got hit in the face with the tail and his whole lower
yeah,
jaw just
that was
blew
sweet.
all
Mm-hmm.
the. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that was
so
brutal.
these things in action were pretty fun to watch. Like that's something that was just like, all right, that's pretty dope. I enjoyed that. I had a lot of guesses though when the flare came out because it was like, well, wait a minute, who the hell's this? But then at
Help
the
me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my
yeah,
only hope.
and then I kind of figured it out as they were walking back. But like that's so dope, man. Just when they were walking, so they get stranded on the planet. Shit happens. The ship blows up. The main ship stays in orbit, but the scout ship that comes down from the colony ship to the planet gets in a bit of trouble because the two people get sick. Neomorphs bust out. Shit blows up. They're stuck on the planet. Moving the plot forward, they're in a bit of trouble, and they get saved by a mysterious stranger who apparently the xenomorphs don't like bright light, right?
The neomorphs, I guess, don't like bright light. As soon as that scene happens, I said out loud, and people looked at me. Oh, this is gonna be bullshit. Um, the rest of the movie, until the xenomorph comes, is Kong Skull Island for me. It is the pits. The second half is the worst
All right,
in the whole Alien franchise.
second act is introduced. Mysterious stranger says, "Come with me if you want to live." Flexes, turns around, and they go through rough terrain to seemingly now what looks to be like a very well destroyed and depressed would be city. Beautiful shot, by the way,
with
too.
with
Yeah.
melted people that are like in stone.
Yeah, and like stoned ash or just kind of charred.
Yeah.
It just all over this huge main common ground. Uh,
Yeah.
which is I
And that
wanted
was
to ask
only
you
the
about
beginning.
that too, with that because that was in reference to the payload that he was talking about, right? Was that him?
Yeah. So
Well,
what
let's
happens?
let's get
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
The-
Let's get going in it. So what happens is this is where I call bullshit. So the
Do we want to
first
reveal the
alien.
mysterious stranger, by the way, first, before, because...
Yeah. By the way, mysterious stranger is long blonde hair David.
Yeah,
So we got
from Prometheus.
Michael Fassbender time 2. I I can't go wrong with Michael. Ed, I agree with you. My love
Yeah,
for Michael Fassbender's,
I
of
have to
course.
give him a lot of credit for this movie because he did a really, even though he's playing an alien, you have to play it straight, or excuse me, a robot. He's playing it sort of straight. He doesn't have to really interact facially with himself. He did a really good job acting with himself in that. That's really,
He did.
really difficult to do. And however, when they did the stand-ins, I have no idea how they did it,
That flute
but
scene.
yeah, they did a really great. Yeah, it's flute. Yeah, the flute scene.
Yeah.
That flute, in my opinion, is an homage to Prometheus when he has that flute and he goes, has a little drag, calls a little dragon zord in, and he gets the ship going, but I think he did this. It's not going to win him anything, but he has an Oscar-worthy appearance in this movie, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Fassbender was good, but here we go. Here's the gripes because Eric, you asked about it. So what I call bullshit on is the first movie in Alien, when they go to the space jockey ship and you see the space jockey there with his chest burst open before Kane gets the face hugger. That was just a fan theory. The space jockey has literally been nothing besides in a few comics here and there. They're not called engineers or nothing like that. It was Ridley Scott in an interview that said recently, the past 10 years, that the space jockey creature in the first Alien movie was just to show that these aliens have been around forever and they can attack anything. So people want to know about the space jockeys. Boom, we get in Prometheus. So this is where I start calling bullshit. They go to the engineers' homeworld. They have completely blown the engineers. Best way to say it is that they made the engineers sound like they were gods because that's where they were. They created us. They created mankind. And they're easily wiped out just by a little ooze that he drops from a space jockey ship from Prometheus.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's laughable. It's insulting my intelligence as a filmmaker and a film reviewer and an Alien fan. It's really stupid because what's his motivation? David's motivation is, and here's the big spoiler, everybody. David the android created the xenomorph that you know today. He created the egg, he created the queen, the face hugger, the xenomorph. That's what his contribution is. And he does that by discovering that he has wiped out the whole engineers in a split second, women and children too, I might add, if you guys seen that.
Yep.
And then he says that Shaw, who was the Ripley of the first movie in Prometheus, says that, oh, she died in the crash. No, he kills her, disembowels her, takes her insides, and starts to develop what we know now as the facehugger egg. Bullshit. This second part is terrible. Just terrible. I was checked out at this point.
Yeah, that was
Bad.
a very fucking odd and dark turn. That it kind of came out of, well, yeah, it was just odd and dark that suddenly this android that is created, seamlessly for kind of exploration and good things, it now suddenly has like this kind of god complex where he's going to start uh, learning about anatomy by tearing it apart and piece by piece, and then using the parts that he uses to, and then killing his friend. I guess if you could
Yeah.
say that Dr. Shaw was his friend, and completely just like, yeah, taking her parts and
Well, remember
for this
though,
dream
he
that he
loves her.
has. Yeah, he loves
Well,
her.
remember though, he loves her because, and people can say, because I've watched and I've listened to a lot of reviews about this movie before, in to prepare for our review. People are saying, oh, David didn't love Shaw. Bullshit. Because if David didn't love Shaw, he wouldn't have teared up. An android tears up when he talks about her, and then he shows Walter her grave, her supposed grave. If he loved her, he never would have had a grave for her.
And he
I mean,
does praise her quite well after it. I mean, obviously he had a bit of a shrine to her and it's like that. But so what? So he's either, we don't know. Maybe she could died from something else, or it's probably safe to assume that. Oh, maybe she starved. Who knows? We
We
don't know. We just
in
assume
the
that he killed
prologue
her.
on YouTube we find out. Yeah,
Which,
in the prologue we find out.
Oh,
which
can you answer?
none of that.
Yeah.
What happens?
In the prologue, just go ahead and you go to YouTube. It's Alien Covenant prologue, one of the two.
Okay,
Where
because none of
Shaw,
that makes sense to
Yeah,
me. So I'm
damn it,
wondering
man, tell
what
me.
happens. Yeah.
yeah, Shaw fixed David because at the end of Prometheus, the space jockey rips off his head, and then after that, the space jockey dies, and then Shaw, when they go back on the ship, Shaw reattaches his head, and they become best buds on the way to the engineer's homeworld. And then what happens is he puts her in a cryo sleep, and she has tubes that come into her body and attach to her, and then she goes to sleep, and then he gets ready to drop the quote-unquote nukes on the engineers. So it's kind of the same fate that Daniels has at the end of this movie, where he puts her in cryo sleep, pretty much knocks her the fuck out, so he can do whatever he wants to do to her. That's pretty much what happens.
Oh, well, that sounds stupid.
Yeah, and also pretty cool. I mean that twist at the end, you kind of saw it coming, right?
Yeah, oh, hands down.
Yeah. You're just
Especially when
like,
they don't tell you, when you don't see who kills who, you know who that guy is. And they tell you this first second you see it after the fight, when he's running, he stops, he looks, he gives that I don't give a shit look, and then runs. Like they tell you who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that
True.
but
So now what happens
you know,
is the crew
it
gets
was
saved
rough.
by him. We find all this bullshit out that I have so many problems with as an Alien fan. But then all of a sudden, the captain, the guy that made the stupid decision to go to paradise, boom, alien eggs. And they're waiting for their mother. Boom, real face hugger coming out, attaches himself to him. Excited as fuck. I was geeked. I was so excited. I was ready to see the chest burster.
Yeah.
But no, we do not get a chest burster. We get a chest burster, if you can tell the tone in my voice, but we get a chest burster that performs for David.
Yeah.
It's not a larva
Hey.
like it is an alien. It comes out with all of its limbs and it goes, "Hey, it's me, the
Hey, Mom."
xenomorph."
Yeah.
Oh, that was so bad.
That was kind of dumb. I don't know what kind of puppet master stuff that was, but
That was terrible.
as soon as David put up his arms,
Yeah.
and then I was like, is she gonna do that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Now, here's an interesting thought, guys. We find out in the second movie, Aliens, by James Cameron 86, that the aliens are kind of like a beehive and they have a queen that lays the eggs.
Yeah.
He takes body parts, innards, what have you, from Shaw to create what these xenomorphs are going to become. So Shaw, in theory, the reason why she's so important is because Shaw is technically the first alien queen.
Okay.
Where
So
are you
just
coming up with that? Tell me where you're coming up with that.
because aliens have a queen, just like
Wait.
a fucking
Oh,
beehive.
because- because the
I
egg-
get what you
because the
said. I
eggs
want to know
were
where your
made-
theory.
The eggs were made with her
with her body.
parts, I guess,
Okay.
and
okay.
and through her creates the face hugger, which then attacks.
See,
so-
I didn't see any body parts. I didn't see that. I mean, I saw her body there. I thought, you know what I mean.
Well,
I
he
saw
says
her.
that.
Okay,
He
well
says
that I missed it because I had checked out. Like as you had said, the second half of this movie is just some of the worst things I've ever seen in a movie.
Well,
so
yeah,
I had
like,
mentally checked
he
out and I
admits
just
it.
missed that.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, I'm incorrect. David does not actually say that I took her parts, but there's a scene where you see Shaw lying on the ground and her from the top of her chest onto her stomach is this pried open and all of her insides are gone. And then when you go to see an alien egg, you can see that there's like, or there's like parts to it that look like like intestines or stomach or whatever. So I just kind of put two and two together.
Okay, well then I completely missed that, because what I saw was her there, and we as an audience were meant to know what that was. We knew what that was, but the crew of the Covenant did not. So Billy Crudup believes him for some fucking reason. He goes there to kill him, and then he believes him. So he follows him down, and he sees all these eggs, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and look at it. Go ahead and touch it." So he does, and he does, and then all of a sudden you get the face hugger or whatever the hell they're called. So,
yeah, face hugger.
Yeah. So like, not only did that whole part of the story not make sense, but I didn't see what you were talking about. So if I missed it, I missed it. I just didn't see it.
Now we get the part where I know what's happening. I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm excited. This is the first Alien movie in 20 years, folks, because Alien Resurrection came out in 97. So it's been 20 years since I've seen an actual Alien in theaters, because Alien versus Predator does not exist. Anywho.
Oh, stop it.
Oh my God!
But
the third act
it looks
is
cool.
Great.
Like
Oh
like I
my
said,
God,
I really like looking at it.
The
It's
scene where you have
ridiculous.
all the aliens crawling up the pyramid and the Predator shooting down at them. Although the
No.
movie itself was stupid and
No,
the concept
no.
was stupid, that was really fucking cool.
Yeah. Hey,
Nope,
wait a second.
listen.
Let's talk about that. In the Alien franchise, where chronologically do the Predators come in?
Well, the Alien versus Predator timeline is completely different. That's this whole other thing. It doesn't exist in the Alien franchise. But
Okay, but like, where
to
does it
answer your
exist?
question,
In its...
to answer your question, since the dawn of mankind, so way before this shit, because Alien versus Predator, the first movie takes place in 2004, so way before this shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So 100 years before.
So the aliens have been around for
Yeah.
for a long time then.
Yeah, because in AVP, in the first Alien versus Predator, you find out that...
Wait.
Also, that would mean
Wait.
that-
That doesn't make sense then. That doesn't make sense. If David's created the xenomorphs, essentially he's evolved the little tiny bug that evolves into the xenomorphs, the alien, which the Predators have been hunting, which were developed to hunt according to this story.
Oh yeah.
Then that timeline of this movie is way off.
No.
So either
filmmakers...
your claim is true, either what you're claiming is true, that the filmmakers are pretending that movie never happened.
Yeah.
Or there's something going on that we don't know about yet.
No, there's nothing that's going on that we don't know about. Every Brandywine Productions, who is in control, Walter Hill, one of the producers, have said that Alien versus Predator it's just a sub movie. It's not canon in this Alien franchise. It does not exist.
Okay.
So
yeah, you're damn
just
right.
so you know. But anywho, the xenomorph comes. We get a great fight with Daniels and the xenomorph. And I would love to say that I love Ripley. Ripley's my number one heroine in all movies. But Daniels, I think, could kick Ripley's ass in this movie, because she's flying off of shit. She's kicking the shit out of the alien. It is wonderful what...
Yeah, that was
what she
some
does.
shit
But
where suddenly she just walks outside and clips herself to the bay, and she's got a
badass.
assault rifle in hand there, and she's just letting them rips.
Absolutely.
That was my favorite scene in this movie, when they're
It was
on
great.
their cargo ship or whatever.
The alien looked great. It was awesome.
Operates a crane and grabs a...
That Tennessee guy, which Kenny Powers, one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yeah.
But like, he's supposed to be this great pilot. They bust his balls, but that happens between guys and doing their same job. But like, he's supposed to be this great pilot, and I get the concept of him putting the rest of the colonists at risk when he lowers down to 80 kilometers and then 40 kilometers, and I get that because he's trying to find his wife. Okay, and he actually does a really good job in this movie. But he's supposed to be this great pilot, and then he can't fly a cargo freighter to save his life. Like, he wrecks into shit that he can see.
It's unstable. That's what it was. It's just big, clunky, and the crane threw them off balance.
But then he screams, "I'm trying to compensate, compensate," and then like he wrecks into shit. Like that didn't make like there's just character flaws. Like they make mistakes that they shouldn't be making.
Well, I think it's. They talked about thrust too. How it's just a big old boat. I don't know. I mean,
At this point, who cares?
Yeah.
We got Daniels against us. We got Daniels against a xenomorph. It doesn't matter at this point.
can I just say?
That's why I hate the movie. That's why it matters to me.
Well, if
you know?
we're at the end of the movie, then let me just ask then, because the few questions that I have, actually, for if that one xenomorph was destroyed within the clutches of the crane, then where the fuck did the other one come from? So
From the guy that had the facehugger. I actually thought that question too, but then I went back and looked at the movie again
from the
because
white
I
guy
forgot.
with the facehugger.
So the guy who was a part of the gay guy couple, he got a facehugger attached after the captain did, and then the guy went to go save him, and he cut the facehugger, and the acid blood spilled on the side of his face.
Yeah.
Oh, so his blood is his jizz.
No. So when they went back into the Covenant ship,
Yeah.
and they went to just think everything is happy and everything is over with, a chest burster burst out of that guy. The reason why was because the facehugger was on him long enough to attach to actually impregnate him with
did
the
I
embryo.
miss that? Did they have a shot of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They did.
Oh
Yeah, they did.
man, that's why I must have been.
Yeah, because I thought the same thing too.
Not-
Because I was driving home, I was
Must
like,
have
"Where the
been
fuck that
not
other alien?" Oh, that's right. The guy with the acid blood on the side of his face. Because it is a split second, and
No,
let's
no,
be mature
I think I
yeah,
remember the scene.
yeah, because the tube
Yeah.
from the face hugger,
Yeah.
so
And
that's
listen,
how that happened.
we've all been there. We've all lasted a split second too, so I get it.
Nice. Yes, so you think everything's over with, the alien's destroyed, and boom, no, we get a remake of the first Alien movie, essentially. You got Danny McBride, and we think it's Walter, but spoiler, it's been David this whole time, and they have a great battle with the alien on the cargo area of the ship. The alien gets killed. Everybody's happy, and then she talks to David and says, "Are you gonna help me build that cabin on the lake?" And he doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. She realizes that it's Walter, and then I'm happy. I'm good. I'm feeling good. Okay, I'm ready for Alien Awakening in 2 years, and then David regurgitates facehugger embryos.
Oh my god, that was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
And I'm walking out of there going, he just regurgitated embryo facehuggers.
Yeah.
What? So
You've been holding on to those for a while then.
Yeah. I don't know why. I did not know that. Look, I don't know. There is a lot of fucked up shit in this
Imagine
movie.
this
There's
too,
a lot
that
of great
he
shit.
probably let's say that he had swallowed those. He did some David Blaine shit and swallowed those well before going to the party. You know what I mean? And
well, wait a minute. Let me theorize this. What if
that means
he
was
is the
taking
original
hits,
queen?
man. He was taking punches to the stomach, and he was getting flipped and tossed around. He was getting hit, man, and he kept those
He
inside.
gets stabbed?
He's got an iron stomach.
Is he then the original or the alien queen?
Oh, the father.
The alien king, essentially.
The dad, the king or the queen. I mean,
No,
whatever. I mean,
he would be the creator.
have-
Isn't that his whole purpose? Is to be the creator?
He's the creator. That's his whole point. Yeah, he's the creator. He wants to destroy humans. That's his purpose.
Okay. I mean, let's accept all that, but that's the beginning of an egg is an embryo. I mean, science 101.
Sure.
So yeah, he freezes them because he's going to be, he doesn't want them to, for lack of a better term, he wants them to be stable for the next however long they're going to the next planet, which we assume is
7 years.
Well, no, the whatever the planet buttfuck 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the hell you call it.
LV426.
Okay, so he wants them to be. He doesn't want them to hatch in the meantime because they're going to be hungry. So he puts them there. So does that then make him the first alien queen because he's a robot. He doesn't have a gender.
So to speak. Like I said before earlier, my theory is that Elizabeth Shaw, is the kind of humanoid alien queen because they used her parts to create the facehuggers and
Sure.
the eggs.
Sure, but
But
but using that theory, they use everybody that gets a face hugger on them or anybody that gets killed. Every time you see an alien burst out of somewhere, it's the next iteration leading up to the xenomorph.
no, absolutely. What I'm trying to say is that this is the creation of what we know of a xenomorph. So that's why I'm saying that she's kind of the queen. I get what you're saying,
Okay.
Ed, but I just call bullshit that David. Because Eric, you're right. David was in a huge fight with fucking Walter, getting thrown around, getting stabbed, getting everything else. And at the end of the movie, when Daniels finds out that he's actually David and all this stuff, and then he decides to regurgitate two facehugger embryos for her clearly and Danny McBride. It's just like, we didn't even talk about the last scene though that I really did like, the couple sex scene shower with the alien attacking them, and he gets a face hugger in the back of the head through his mouth.
That
Not a
was
face hugger,
interesting.
a fucking alien tongue.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
let's
awesome.
let's be honest. It's a horror movie, and in every horror movie, the couple that has sex dies.
Well, of
That
course, but it was still cool.
So
that
It
alien
was still
tongue,
cool.
dude, like is serious.
Yeah.
That thing is going through glass and just all sorts of shit in this
Yeah.
twice in this movie.
which
Yeah, it
also
was
does
badass.
explain why the glass is stronger in the original Alien, right? Because he can't break through the alien can't break through the glass, right?
I don't know how
That's why
reported.
they lock it in that
Well,
room.
I don't know how the report's gonna get
guys,
back about that.
yeah, it's neither here nor there when it comes to that, because the technology in this movie that takes place 20 years before the first Alien movie is far advanced compared to the first Alien movie. You just got to kind of give it that mulligan and just kind of go with it, you know. But
Hey, listen, I've been trying to defend this movie that you love and I hate so much. I'm
I didn't
just
say I
gonna roll
love
with it.
I don't say love
Well,
it,
the
but
series.
let's get into this. Ed, Eric, what's going to be our final review for Alien Covenant? I'm so excited to talk about this one. Ed, how much money would you pay to see Alien Covenant?
Oh God. Um, I did. Unfortunately, I paid full price for this movie because it was after 4 o'clock. It was the only showing, so I didn't get a matinee. I would honestly say the price of streaming, which is half price. That's what I think this movie's worth. Um, I love Ridley Scott. Absolutely love Ridley Scott, and I'm on the opposite spectrum of Jordan when I say I think his worst movies, less Alien, are his sci-fi films. I've never made it through Blade Runner. Alien was great, and then these movies, and I love everything that he's done except the sci-fi movies. So, I hold him in a higher standard. I feel like the development of the characters was forced. I feel like they've made flawed decisions. I personally would not recommend this movie to anybody unless you're a huge fan of this franchise. Jordan, you're literally the only person that I would say definitely you should go see this movie. So all in, I say half price.
All right, Eric, how much money would you pay to see Alien Covenant?
I kind of have to agree with Ed on all accounts here, man. Like it's not the best as a standalone. If you've never seen any of the Aliens and then going to see this one on your own, you'll get a bit of a thrill, I'm sure. But as far as like the actual story of everything, um, I just don't. I don't think it's for them. You're going. People who are going to see Alien are the people who are fans of the franchise and people who are dating fans of the franchise. So like that's just that's kind of that's what it is. I enjoyed it. I enjoy the Alien series. I would say pay a streaming price if it's on a DVD, if it's on a video on demand or something. Yeah, I'd say rent it, but I can see the theater with this one. You don't need to see a theater with this one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I mean, I just wanted to add that I want to reverse what I did. I paid full price to see this movie, but rented on Amazon for $4 Prometheus. I would pay full price for Prometheus, but should rent this for $5.
I just, I just think that its redeeming factor
Wow.
of this one is it like the xenomorph is really fucking cool. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just and to see a full one like that actually in action was I underestimated it, to be quite honest, because I saw in the trailer an action shot of it on the when it was on that cargo machine or freighter, or the hell it was, and it looked kind of silly, but then seeing it in action, it's like, damn, that it scares the shit out of you, man. It moves like a
Yeah.
jittery spider.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's yeah. Um, all right, you guys may not be shocked. I don't know. I'm gonna give Alien Covenant half price. Um, it's not the strongest, nor is it the weakest
Sold him.
movie in the Alien franchise.
Sold him. Got him.
But I was disappointed in it. I mean, I was excited in the beginning in the first act because it took its time and it was slow, and that's what the Alien movies are. They take time to build up characters, and yeah, you may be here to see an alien, but you got to care about who gets killed and who survives, and that's what always was the appeal to the original trilogy in 1, 2, and 3. This movie, though, I just don't like the fact that we find out that David is the father of the aliens. Essentially, I just don't like the fact that an android decides that humanity is not worth his time or his while, so he decides to create these things, which create X amount of others, and it's just it's bullshit when it comes to that. Prometheus, I always enjoyed just as like a love letter to the franchise, so that's why I never really bitched about it much. But this movie had me griping. I was not happy with a lot of it, but I was happy with what I got. I mean, I got a great xenomorph, and Eric, I know you kind of like the xenomorph too. I got a great xenomorph. Nobody's gonna care about the neomorphs. Stop creating us new aliens, Ridley Scott. Nobody cares about new aliens. Give us face huggers, give us chest bursters, give us aliens, and give us an alien queen. And introduce an alien king, for God's sakes, and let's move on. Just do it. But other than that, all together, we're going to get this one, of course, a half price. But next week, we have a movie that I'm not interested to see at all because the franchise is deader than Alien. But our next movie is the Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No
Oh, is it
Tales.
I
really?
love Pirates. Love Pirates. I can't believe you
God
don't like that movie.
damn
I
it.
love I
God
love Pirates.
damn it.
How could you guys not like these movies?
Do
I
I
love
need?
Pirates.
I have not seen the last. I think two. How many are there
Oh
Yeah,
now?
my god, they're brilliant. They're so
Oh
this
my
is
good.
the this
god.
is the fifth one, Eric. This is the fifth one.
I
Javier Bardem, are you kidding me? Like, I can't
That's
believe
the
you
only
guys aren't
reason why I'm
excited for
excited.
this.
That's the only reason I'm excited is because of Javier. So, but next week we will be doing, like I said, Pirates of the Caribbean, and then here's something interesting too for everybody. After Pirates of the Caribbean, we're going to be doing Wonder Woman, which I'm excited to
I'm
do as
excited for
well.
that one.
And my wife
And
is going to go with me on that one for once.
we do have one more special guest scheduled. We're not going to tell you exactly when yet because we haven't had everything ironed out. But we do have one more special guest. We will tell you on Twitter and our Facebook when you can expect it and who it will be. And I promise you, it'll be never ending. You'll never want to talk. You'll never be. It'll be never ending when you find out who it is. Jordan, where can they find us at?
They can find us at movieguyspodcast.com, BeRealNetwork.com, movieguyspodcast.podbean.com, and search us on iTunes and for Movie Guys Podcast. But Eric and Ed, thank you so much, like always, for joining me on this discussion. We'll be back next week for Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales. Have a good night.
Bring the rum.